So that's the mastery campaign, mastery of the Manticore Apollo's Proto Apollo campaign. And so I got all that. Wait, how did I get that? Was that actually part of the campaign? That was in the test. Oh, I guess it was in the mastery. Okay. Didn't know that. So you could do the mastery 4 times. And you also get some Nemesis upgrade kits as well. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and just speed this Nemesis up real quick. That's 15 hours for that sucker. So, my Manticore build isn't complete. They're really old and really outdated. So, um, a lot of problems here. See, I even have the narrowing firing aperture on these suckers. It's worthless. I wouldn't suggest putting on a missile fleet. So these are relatively outdated. You could do the same tactic I did with the scatter manticores. It's just you're going to have lower range and maybe even less damage because those have more defense than these guys. These guys are pretty squishy. But I want to kind of go through, I guess, a manticore build. Um, I also don't even have the flagship too. The flagship can help a lot as well. So first I'll do what I would do and change on my manticores, and then I'll probably do a scattergun version of it. So let's go with the alloy armor, that stuff I would think you need. If you have enough of these, the agility system 4s, they will also help in the mega convoys if you use manticores in that sucker for the slow resistance, because I believe the cryo missiles have like a slowdown as well. It might be just tactical field resistance, but I'm not exactly sure. So there's that. I did one earlier. I'm not exactly too sure what engine I put on it. I think it was the assault engine, and then we'll just go with it for now. The assault battery. Um, let's see that. Oh yeah, I didn't do that. I did um, the interception system because for 80s, I think those were 40s and 60s in the target that I just did, but for 80s, you'll need, pretty fast. I want to match the speed of my um, Nemesis, and to match the speed, it's pretty rough. So, kind of hard to do, especially with this fleet. You might want to keep Hyper 30 on. I might change that to Hyper 30 just in case, just be safe. Because these are relatively slow, and the upgrades don't give you any speed. So that's always a problem. See, 66 right there. And then I know I had a lot of Predator missiles on these because they give combat speed of 5%, but they also don't give you any defense like uh, the Stinger does. I'm not even sure if they're retargetable. Are they? Okay, yeah, they're retargetable, so that will help there. See, let's see what the movement speed. See, that's 71. Or I could just do the current engines I have, which would be Strike System 5. Let's see what the speed is on that one. So that's 77 right there already. And I was thinking of doing the evade armor, and then doing the missile. You can put on a couple of folded ferrites, and then also you have to think about what types of CICs you'll do. So you could do the Darkwing CIC, which gives you bonus 10% combat speed. And for a dual aura cap of 3, so it gives the ship 10%, and it gives combat speed of 10% for each Darkwing you have to the fleet. So, which I'm not sure exactly how fast they are. Let me check it. What's the speed on this sucker? 28. But, so that might help a lot. So, for each Darkwing you have in your fleet, you get 2.8 combat speed. So that will boost. So say I have 2, I believe. Or no, I have 3 in my fleet. So let's do 3. So that gives me 8 combat speed. So this sucker will go pretty fast. So around 86.4 combat speed. So you might not even need the Hyper 30. Let's see how that does. So that's 7 plus 8.4, so that's 78. And maybe I'll do just 2. So if I do 2 of them, that makes it 5.6. So I'll be roughing around 75.6 combat speed just with this right here. So that's not too bad, and the missile strike system gives you the boost in range. Although you could put on the corrosive sink or the penetrative sink if you're not using them for your main hulls. But personally, I would either do the strike system 5 or the assault battery. The assault battery isn't really that fast though, so you gotta watch out for that. And if you do use assault battery, you're looking at 70.6 just with this build. So I personally probably wouldn't do it with assault battery now that I look at it. Penetrative accuracy survival was 700. So now I'm going back to strike system. I have to check my build I have. And so this will give 10% combat speed. Let me see if it actually factors in the built-in. So 73 and 70. So it does have the built-in Darkwing. This also does 10% combat speed. So they're all going to be the same speed to start with. And then for each Scorpion CIC, on the Berserk it gives you 10% combat speed for all the ships inside the range of that Berserk. And so that's why I pair the Darkwing with the Scorpion, is because the Darkwing adds 10 seconds to the Berserk. So instead of just a 10-second Berserk, you're looking at 20 seconds for just one Darkwing, and then 30 and 40 seconds to have all 3 of them in there. So that's pretty good. It gives you splash damage reduction, which helps, I guess. I won't see too much into it right there. But that penetrative reload and damage is pretty awesome for those damage dealers. But I'll probably do 2 Darkwings and give you 5.6 combat speed onto what you have right now. So that's 73. That's 78.6 right there. Let's check. Just see what this guy does. I just want to see what. 78. So actually that one might actually do good because it goes up to 73.6. And that will allow you to basically be the same combat speed as my current Nemesis X. So, and if we could boost that even more by putting one more Predator missile on it, if you have enough of them. They're relatively easy, so see, that's 74 cics, so that's actually pretty good right there. What did I do? So you could do folded ferrites, and then you could do, depending on what's your defense, I'd say, which is corrosive is 9200, penetrative is 57. So you're pretty good you're pretty good in corrosive. What about percentage wise? Percentage is 178, 200. So might want to do a limited M armor if you wanted to do that. And then the rest will be up to you. Stinger missiles give you more corrosive defense. So if we were going to do that, then optical tracking would probably be best right there for your accuracy and your penetrative range. So really, you don't really have to worry about these predator missiles and the stingers being retargetable, because this will give you retargeting right there. And then this last one, I'm not sure if you can put on the stinger missile. No. So then the last one, you could make up whichever you want to do, whether it be the disruptor missile. I'm not sure if they actually work or not, but it's worth a try. I do know in the 80 targets that the stun on the, what was it called? The Gutspill Phoenix. The stun does work with every ship except for the Ghost Crawler, so I'd be mindful of that one. So this would probably be my Manticore build. Missiles, the pure missile ones. So Scorpion CIC, if you have them, these would be build for the all Scorpion CICs. And then I would also do a different one that has countermeasures on it. So say, let me see, 769. So sadly, I might have to take this. We're looking for. Oh, it doesn't matter because. Well, I was thinking of taking off the assault batter engine. Come on, and then taking off optical tracking. And not have to worry about that much. And then instead of the assault engine, just do strike system 5, so you get the missile boost and you get the speed. But I was worried about the turn speed. I was worried about this being too fast, because look at this, it's 74 right now. But it really doesn't matter because the what is it called? The ship itself. Okay. Provides. Okay, so. What does it say? It's supposed to, what it does is it slows. Okay, so slows to match fleet combat speed. This doesn't have it, so it won't work on the CIC. But the Darkwing CIC, it will slow to the combat speed of the other ships. So that's also good right there. So I would do the countermeasure hull on the Darkwing CIC, so that if you were to do this, it would slow down to match the speed of the other ones, and then put your countermeasures on it, whichever you want to do. Let's go with countermeasures. And for this one, you could put on as a lot of countermeasures if you want, because we're not limited to how many countermeasures we have, or that we, can use on this hull. But I'll just put 3 missile defense system 3s. And if I don't have enough of those, then I'll probably just put on the Phalanx 4s, because that's not really that big of a deal. My big worry is the turn speed, though. Turn speed is 42, whereas turn speed of this sucker is let's look at 64. Oof, that's rough. So that will be a big downfall in that sense. It'll turn like a bus, but it'll keep the same speed as the other Manticores, so you don't have to worry about that. And then don't waste your limited missiles on this one since it's already going to be fast. You don't need it to be fast. This will add turn speed to it, but make it overweight. Let's go back to regular missiles. So just use stingers or what have you. Come on, it's lagging really bad. I need to refresh after that campaign. And then see what the combat speed is for that one right now. So movement is 67 plus 5.6. So maybe you can leave a couple of on them. Come on. So yeah, probably 4 of them would be good enough, I believe. I didn't think it would actually make a big difference, but I guess it does. How much the combat speed is? 73. Yeah, so there you go. And then that leaves us one more special, and I completely forgot about this, and I'm glad I remembered. You need a sonar special. So since this is going to be the bait of your fleet, you do need that sonar to spot the stonefish. And as you can see during my campaign, there's a couple times where I couldn't spot them, and it was really hard to do anything in the campaign because I either get hit by those missiles, and this will help you spot them, plan where you go. One of those targets is really hard to do. It's where I think it was stage 3. Stage 3 was annoying, I believe. Yeah. It was one of those where it had the fog all at the very bottom, and that's kind of hard to lure them, bait them and lure them over to the side and that stuff. So that one is a kind of tough one, but this one will be another one that I would do. Let me do a notepad real quick and save all this stuff. So yeah, that will be the missile build. Let me refresh real quick. So just bear in mind real quick. Okay, back. I had to clear my cache and all that stuff. So that was the missile build. Let me do I guess the scattergun build, I would presume. And the scattergun probably won't be that much different. I won't expect it to be. Let's go with the specials first. Always look at specials first. So specials being that assault battery, roaring barrel system would probably be best for this one. I'm not sure if you would want to be as fast as the missile build. So I'm not sure about that. I wonder. Oof. Let's see how that works out. the HVC, put that on there. We do need engines, so what kind of engines should we put on? I'd probably do assault engine. I mean, you won't get the penetrative damage, but you'll get the survival, the combat speed, and I mean, it's a lot better than the other penetrative resistors, which is basically the same thing except uh, less survival and none of the attack uh, bonuses. So that would be a good one right there. And let me see. Let's do evade, because I'm pretty sure evade will be a key factor here. So this goes corrosive reload, penetrate reload, turn speed, and combat speed. So dark CIC, the dark wing CIC would be okay. This gives combat speed, turn speed, structure deflection, and to each Manticore. So, and it gives you a lot of corrosive survival and less penetrative survival. So that's where you need the assault engine for the penetrative survival there. And then distance, I would probably do the M armor as well. With oh, I like this the D5E B. I mean, it gives you evade. How much evade do I have? Evade is 65 right there. That's not too bad. The evade on the Saturns, I was doing 75, I believe it was. So that's not bad at all. Panthera. What's the difference between the cheetah? Combat speed. Well, let's just put it on and see side by side. Okay, so Panthera gives you same damage, it just combat speed and corrosive survival. Now, don't know if, I mean, I don't know. What's the speed on the sucker? 58. Just right there is 58. So, it gives you 10% combat speed for, okay, that's the same thing as the Darkwing. It gives you 10% combat speed. So, that being said, so each aura cap, duplicate aura cap, gives you 2.8. So you're getting 14 combat speed just from the CICs. So 68, 72 right there. Just right there is 72. So if you wanted to, you could put a couple of these cheetahs on. No, get that off. Okay, so do that. There you go. So that's 76 right there, combat speed. And take one off. Let's look at that. Movement. So that's 75 combat speed right there for a whole fleet. You could put this gun on it. See, let's see how much weight that gives. Oof, that weight. That's rough. And then let's try countermeasures. The countermeasures I would do is either switchblades or multi-form, because of the roaring barrel system, you get multi-shot right there. Okay, let's kind of just take that off. That's a lot. Where are you? So let's do Panthera. So you're still overweight to some certain extent, but there we go. So you could do one multiform, one switchblade, and the rest the scatters. That's probably what I would do as a build, per se, is do something like this. Because let's see what the combat speed is. Combat speed is, yeah, 75 right there. Defense is, let's look at it, corrosive 16,000. Penetrative 8900. It's kind of low, but still can work. If you want, maybe, let's see if we can, see, I don't like that because it takes off evade. I was thinking of doing two D6Ms right here, but it takes off evade, your speed and that stuff, and that can help you. And in this build, the only armor repair duration is 22 minutes right here. So right now I have the D5 comms on it, and it's like 4 hours or something. It's terrible. So right here you'll only get 3 hours and 22 minutes repair. Still sucks, having that repair, but it's not as bad as having like 4 hours or whatever it has for the D5 comm. So this is probably the build that I would personally do for if I had scatter manticores. I never liked them. That's why I went with the build, the missile build, is because it's more hands-on driving, tactics, and that stuff. And that's what I like to do. So I also will, copy and share this build. Let's see. And this build, this personal build right here, I would do. Looking. I do a mix of Dark Wings and the Savage. Maybe see that gives you reload 2. Corrosive reload combat speed. Yeah, I might just, I'd personally probably just do 2 as well. So 2 of the Dark Wings and the rest of the Savage CIC for both holes. So 2 Dark Wings and 3 Scorpion CICs and 2 Dark Wings and the 3 Savage CICs. And those are for the missile and scattergun manticores. So that's probably what I'd do. And I'll do another video on the other assault TLC that we have right now. I'll probably do that in a little bit. So do the get up to the mastery and then do a video for the mastery. I already did builds for those, so if you need those builds, I have them posted on my YouTube. So also with should have the codes underneath in descriptions, just like this one. I'm not going to do a build for the Proto Apollo. I never liked it. I thought it was a wasted hole. Because they never gave enough tokens to build the Proto Apollo. It's sad that they didn't do that, but it's what we can do. And so for now, this is the Manticore build, and I'd presume you could transfer these builds over to the Proto Apollo, the missile build, I'd presume, over to the Proto Apollo, and it'll just work just fine. Just my ideas of what can happen. So yeah, so that would be my build, and I hope this helps you, and I hope you do less repair than what I did on the Manticore TLC. So until next time, pirates.